There's no question, Joe and Becky, that the margin for error for us is much lower than it would be for Hillary Clinton, who so disrespects the press that she won't even face them in a press conference. I mean, 260 days, you could have had a baby by then, and the press should be having a canary that this woman won't, just won't face them. So we know the margin of error is lower, but what I would say to the press is what I would say to all of us, which is you can disagree with Donald Trump's prescriptions for law enforcement, communities of color, defeating radical ISIS, rebooting our economy, unleashing energy independence. You can disagree with all of that, but at least you have an opportunity to read it. He is now putting out speeches where you see the 4 or 5 things that he would do to help in this area or to change that area. So people are, I think they're too much focused on the style of Donald Trump when really his pivot is about substance. It's about these issues.
And I'd love to ask about that. So as an investor, one thing we all want to do is understand the details of possible policy shifts so we can figure out how to adjust portfolios. And one of the challenges with Donald Trump's campaign so far has been you get the broad message, but you don't get much of the how do we get there. And in the coming, 77 days, are we going to see more detail behind some of these overarching messages, some more detail that'll help us analyze what he might do if he does get elected in November?
You will. You'll see more detail than you will with Hillary Clinton, and you'll see more detail, Rebecca, that allows you to transport yourself to what would life look like? What would the economy feel like under a President Donald Trump? And 2 weeks ago today, he gave this speech that basically was Reaganomics in many ways. And I know the left wants to attack it as trickle down. Listen, we had great prosperity then. I'm with the majority of Americans who feel like they're not more prosperous and they're not more safe than they were just several years ago.
If Donald Trump wants to pass anything, he's going to have to work with Congress, including his own leadership. And he hasn't had great relations with them. How is he progressing on that front in order to be able to work with the people who are going to have to pass any legislation that he would want?
We're actually doing very well. In fact, Becky, it's a timely question. I just myself received about a half a dozen calls from members of Congress this weekend just saying, how can I help? I've said I'm going to vote for him, but I hadn't endorsed him. I'd like to be more involved in my communities. We'll put them right to work. We think that's wonderful. And let me just say publicly, we welcome any member of Congress in the House or the Senate to help us. So he is working with them well. We have, I think Governor Pence being on the ticket has been a big boon for that. He served there for 12 years, 10 years in the Foreign Affairs Committee. He's got great relationships in the House and in the Senate. And I think they're starting to see that if you can win, if you can actually do this, then let's start thinking about what the Congress and what the presidency looks like under a President Trump. And I know people say, oh, Americans like checks and balances. They actually want a different party. You know what? Americans are so tired of nothing getting done. Why has Congress earned its 11% approval rating? In part because people feel like you can't get anything done. So we deal very well with Speaker Ryan. We do very well with Leader McConnell.
With Speaker Ryan right now?
It's great. He endorsed him. And Speaker Ryan went on to win 84% of the vote. I said, you should take credit for that.
Hey CNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Here you're going to find videos packed with all of the information that you need to be smarter about your finances. You can subscribe by clicking right here and click on all the videos around me or the I right here to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.